Okay, so today we're going to do this investigation of how daphnia are affected by caffeine. Okay, so to do that, we've got the equipment here. We've got a caffeine solution, which we've made up just using caffeine tablets, 0.5%, which means 50 grams per 100 milliliters. We've got a syringe, which is just going to be simply for measuring out 2 caffeine solutions. We're going to do it with 3 solutions. We're going to do it pure water to start. What do we call that when you're doing something without the presence of an ingredient? What's it called? A control. Good. Control. And particularly, is it a negative control or a positive control? No, it's negative control, because a negative control is something that has nothing. A positive control is something that you have the effect. So it has a negative control. So we're going to use that to measure out when we dilute the solution. We're only going to do it at 3 concentrations. We're going to do it at 100% concentration. We're going to do it at 50% concentration. And we're going to do it at 0, which is going to be pure water. The other equipment we need is you've got a pipette here, which has had the end cut off. The end has been cut off, so we can pick up the daphnia really easily. You've got cotton wool. The cotton wool is to help make sure the daphnia doesn't move around. Okay, and you need a little bit of that. And you've got a cavity well slide. The cavity well slide, thing you have to be careful of the cavity well slide is make sure you've got it on the side of the cavity. Put your finger, run it over the top, feel the dip. If it's upside down, it won't work. Okay, so make sure you've got the cavity on the right side. We've also got a high quality microscope which has got 100 times magnification, which is the magnification we're going to use for when we're doing the counting of the heart rate. And of course we need the daphnia. So those daphnia are from a pet shop. You can buy them or aquatic centre. Important, don't pick the ones that are floating on the top. They're dead. Okay. Try and pick ones that are actually moving around a bit. And very carefully, just basically squeeze your pipette, put it in there, and just try and move it around into your near one, and then just suck it up. It won't be able to escape. It will be sucked in. Okay, it's not too difficult. And then you can capture it. But before you do that, prepare your cavity well slide. So get your cavity well slide. Make sure the cavity's on the top. Take a tiny bit. Now don't take loads. And I say a tiny bit. Even half of that. It's just enough that you can lay it on there and it's not going to be able to move around. The fibres are going to trap it. If you put too much, the light from the microscope won't be able to get through. So I'm going to pick a daphnia. There you go, I've got a few there, so I'll get rid of a few of them. Here's a trick, keep squeezing until almost all of them are gone. And then, when you've got one right at the edge of the pipette, right at the edge, take it and just drop it in. There you go. There's some surface tension there that I have to break because the wall isn't sucking up the water as much. I just want it so it stays still. Okay, now it's got enough water around it so it's going to survive. And remember that the reason we're using daphnia, 2 reasons. 1, they're transparent. And 2, okay, so the transparency, you can see the heart. And 2, they're simple organisms.
Thank you, sir.
That means we don't let them suffer, okay? So they're not going to suffer anything because they don't have the ability to perceive that. They're simple nervous systems, okay, not complex nervous systems. So once you've set it up, we then take it over to our microscope. Now, good microscope operations, we've got our light, okay, make sure it's turned on. We've got clips, put the daphnia near the center, start on the lowest power lens, okay, focus using the gross focus, try and focus downwards, so down like that. If you've got too much cotton wool at this point, you won't be able to see it because the light won't be getting through, okay. Once you've got it focused on the daphnia at low power resolution, try and get it in the center. Try and look for that place where the heart is. You're looking for the kind of arch where you've got the digestive tract. Okay, and once you can find it, you can see it. Now, when you first see it, just turn the magnification up to 100 times, but then you still probably won't be able to see it perfectly. And to get it to be perfect, you need to adjust the light. If you've got too much light going through it, it'll wash it out, so you won't be able to make out the membrane. You need a contrast. You've got to cut the light down again. So the light has to be cut down so you can just about see the membrane. Now, once you've found that, we're going to count. And we're going to count for 1 minute 3 times. So that's our replicates, 3 replicates. The way we're going to count, because it's moving so fast, is we're going to count using a pencil technique. There are different ways to do this. You could video it and slow it down. The pencil technique, it's not a very accurate technique, but it'll work. You take a pencil, you take a piece of paper, and you just basically put dots on it. You don't try and count, you just try and lower the pencil onto the paper every time you see a heartbeat, okay? And we're only going to do it for 15 seconds, not 1 minute. How do we get it into beats per minute then?
Times it by 4.
Times it by 4, so nice and easy. Okay, so we're going to set that up and we'll get it so we can see down the microscope with the camera. So here's our daphnia under the microscope. You can see it's not going anywhere because it's trapped under the, it's trapped by the fibres. It's still happily heart going, okay. And I've actually got 2, there's another one down the bottom. And I've aligned it with the pointer point where the heart is. You can see you've got the digestive tract running, and where the digestive tract arcs up, you've got the heart. Now, once you've got it lined up, you switch to the times 100 magnification. And now I can see the heart. To make it clearer, adjust the aperture, which is down here at the bottom. And by adjusting the aperture, you can adjust the amount. If you have too much light, it gets wiped out. If you get too little, you can definitely see that now. So I can actually, we're very hard to count by 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be too hard. Again, you can count it enough by doing dots. So once you've set this up, it's ready to go. 15 seconds, pause, 15 seconds, pause, 15 seconds, pause. Okay, so you do that 3 times. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use a piece of tissue, going to just soak away any excess water, and you're going to replace it with a tiny drop of the solution of caffeine you're using, either 0.5%, so start with the 0.5% and then do the 0.25%, okay? Actually do that the other way around. The reason we do it the other way around, okay, is because we want to give the chance for the daphnia to adjust to the effects. So you put 0.25% caffeine on there, 1 drop, leave it for a minute. Why do you think we leave it for a minute?
It has an effect on it.
So it takes a while, like you're drinking a coffee, it takes you a while for it to diffuse into your system. It's going to take a while, so we give it a minute before we then start measuring the heart rate again. And then do it 3 times, and then soak away the solution and add the 0.5 solution. To make the 0.25 dead easy, just take equal parts, take a small beaker and take equal parts of water and caffeine solution. Okay, and we'll use distilled water if we can find it.